After reaching little success in America, Jimi Hendrix moved to London, England in late September 1966 to make a name for himself as an emerging force in rock music that was bound to be rock's next guitar god. After getting discovered by Chas Chandler, the bassist for The Animals, Chas purchased a plane ticket for Jimmy and told him he should go to the UK in hopes that Hendrix would have a better chance of breaking through the mainstream in London and then later coming back to America. Chaz would also sign Jimmy to a production and management contract with himself and ex Animals manager Michael Jeffrey. When Hendrix landed in London, he was eager to explore London's music scene, and just days after arriving, Hendrix made his official stage debut the same night Cream was playing. At the time, Eric Clapton's band Cream was sitting at their deserved place at the mountaintop of the London scene prior to the arrival of Hendrix, and quite frankly, nobody else was on the same level as Clapton. A matter of fact, throughout the streets of London, Clapton was praised as a god for his incredible guitar playing and how no one could come close to what he had done with Cream in such a short time. Chandler brought Hendrix to the London Polytechnic at Regent Street, where Cream was due to take the stage, but more importantly, it was the night that Hendrix and guitarist Eric Clapton first met. Clapton later recalled how Hendrix wasn't shy upon their first meeting. Jimmy said to Clapton if it was okay if he could play a couple of numbers with Cream, and Eric said of course, but Eric had a funny feeling about him. The weird thing was, even as an unknown in a completely different country, Hendrix had a certain swagger about him. He was very confident in his playing and wanted to show off his unique style of playing to a whole new audience in the UK. Halfway through Cream's set, Hendrix took to the stage and plugged his guitar into Jack Bruce's bass amp and tore the house down with a raging version of the Howlin' Wolf song Killing Floor. Cream soon regretted allowing him to join them. Hendrix's outrageous stage antics and dazzling guitar playing caused Clapton to leave the stage in a state of shock. Clapton dropped his guitar and walked off stage and was trying to light a cigarette, pacing back and forth, shaking in disbelief. No one had ever heard Killing Floor like that. A song like that was even too complicated for Clapton to try and play. When Chaz Chandler went to check on Clapton, Clapton said to him, "Is he always that good?" Clapton and everyone in attendance was shocked at how this new guitar god ran through the song with such ease, playing the guitar behind his head, with his teeth, in between his legs, and the word immediately spread around London that Hendrix had cut Clapton. He killed God. From this point on, Hendrix was proclaimed as a god of guitar and would earn the respect of fans all over London and the members of Cream. Jack Bruce would say that, in comparison to Clapton, Hendrix was like something he had never seen. Eric was a master of guitar, but Hendrix was a force of nature. Years later, in 1989, Clapton described the performance. He said, "He played just about every style you could think of and not in a flashy way. I mean, he did a few of his tricks, like playing with his teeth and behind his back, but it wasn't in an upstaging sense at all, and that was it. He walked off, and my life was never the same. It's something that no one is ever going to beat. That incident, that night, it's historic in my mind, but only a few people are alive that remember it." After this performance, Jimmy would soon take the rock world by storm with the formation of the Jimi Hendrix Experience in October 1966, and later his band of Gypsies, with monumental performances at events like the Monterey Pop Festival in 1967 and Woodstock in 1969. Fortunately, Clapton and Hendrix soon became friends after Hendrix's performance, and Jimmy confessed to Clapton his love for the band Cream and how much Eric had inspired him. Even Clapton would relay the same sentiments about Hendrix, and Clapton would say in a 1988 Rolling Stone interview that Hendrix was the inspiration behind the song Sunshine of Your Love. After Jack Bruce and Clapton had watched Hendrix perform, after the performance, Eric came up with the riff strictly as a dedication to Jimmy. Unfortunately, the incredible bond between Clapton and Hendrix would end after Hendrix's tragic death on September 18, 1970. Jimmy's death hit Clapton hard, and Clapton later admitted that he was very angry and upset over Jimmy's death for a long time, especially because the two actually had plans to hang out together that very night. From that moment on, Clapton was left with the question about what would have happened to Jimmy if he managed to meet him like planned on the night of his death and whether things would have turned out differently. He said, The night he died, I was supposed to meet him at the Lyceum to see Sly Stone play, and I brought with me a left handed Stratocaster. I just found it and I'd never seen one before, and I was gonna give it to him. Now I'll never be able to give it to him. Hendrix's death is one that Clapton never fully recovered from, and neither has rock music. He was gone way too soon, but his music will always live on. But what did you guys think of this story? Was Clapton really God? Is Hendrix really the greatest? What did you guys think of the relationship between Clapton and Hendrix? Please let us know in the comments down below, and like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.